Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be talking about how the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have lost defensive line coach, run game coordinator, and co-defensive coordinator. He held a lot of hats. Kacy Rodgers to the Detroit Lions. He is joining the Detroit Lions as their new defensive line coach, as the defensive line coach for the Detroit Lions in Terrell Williams is joining the Patriots as their defensive coordinator. So Kacy Rodgers' contract was up with the Bucs, by the way. That's an important thing to note. But I imagine the Buccaneers probably would have had some interest in bringing him back, but now that will not be the case as he is joining Detroit. And folks, I'm going to be honest. Look, I understand where people are coming from about making changes to the defensive coaching staff, right? I do believe that is something that should be done, but Kacy Rodgers, in my opinion, was one of the positive defensive coaches on this staff, okay? He was the run game coordinator, defensive line coach, and the co-defensive coordinator. He's been with Todd Bowles going all the way back to their New York Jets days in 2015. So he's been with Bowles a long time. And whenever you take a look at what this defensive line has done for the Bucs, it's pretty impressive, man. It's pretty impressive. I mean, let's take a look at this. In terms of run defense this year, the Buccaneers were 4th in terms of rushing yards allowed and 10th in rushing touchdowns allowed. The year before, 2023, they were 5th in rushing yards allowed, 8th in rushing touchdowns allowed. That means 5th best and 8th best. In 2022, 15th and 10th. So you mean to tell me the worst Kacy Rodgers and his defensive line unit produced in terms of run defense, which in my mind is one of the biggest units responsible for run defense, at worst was producing a top 15 run defense in the league in terms of yards and a top 10 rushing defense in terms of rushing touchdowns allowed. So this is a loss, in my opinion, for the Bucs, right? I obviously, the Lions are getting a good guy in Rodgers here. And even to take it a step further, right, when we take a look at that Bucs defensive line, guys have been developing under Kacy Rodgers. Kacy, Vita Vea, and Logan Hall, had fantastic years this year, right? Fantastic years. I mean, they combined for a lot of sacks this year. 20 total sacks for the Bucs were from Kacy, Vita Vea, and Logan Hall. They had 46 sacks as a team this year. 20 of them came from your starting 3 defensive linemen in Kacy, Vita Vea, and Logan Hall. If you even want to take it a step further, CJ Brewer had 2. Right? Greg Gaines had 1. Will Golston had 1. So let's add those guys to the mix. That's another 4 to get you to 24. That's literally over half of your sacks as a defense came from your defensive line group. So Rodgers is certainly going to be missed. He is. Now, his contract was up, as I said, so it's not like he's like 100% poached. I imagine the Buccaneers would have had an interest in bringing him back, but now they're going to have to replace Kacy Rodgers. I know some people are going to say, well, just give Larry Foote more responsibility. I don't even know if it's a guarantee that Larry Foote is going to be back. We'll talk about that in a separate video. He just had an interview for a defensive coordinator job with a team as well. So, it's an unfortunate loss. We'll see what the Buccaneers do. Changes may continue to be on the horizon, folks. They may very well continue to be on the horizon. We're going to have to wait and see. But what do you guys think about this move? Also, Rodgers did interview for the Green Bay Packers position as well. So it seems like Rodgers was likely going to be out of the building. I don't even think he interviewed for the Lions job, though. This kind of came out of nowhere. We knew he interviewed for the Packers job, but nothing with the Lions job, and that's where he ends up. So the NFL is quite a tricky place, man. But hey, you know what? Congrats to Kacy Rodgers, man. He's joining a really, really good organization. The Bucs are a good organization as well, but Kacy Rodgers felt like it was time for something different, and now they're going to go and make that move. So, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions about this down in the comments section below. I would love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now. Go Bucs.